think people ask me a lot about the path I took.
He was out on the streets a lot. He was playing with older kids.
Dele Alli again, and he has!
I was always in competition with myself.
And rest is history.
My earliest memories here was probably when I was about 7, come up here by myself and then just join the team and play here. I was playing against men, obviously at the courts and the other places around Milton Keynes. Obviously you have to change the way you play, you have to manipulate the ball differently, and growing up playing in the courts definitely helped me add that style into my game. Yeah, it was like in between the games I was just messing around in the goal playing, and one of the dads come up to me and asked me if I wanted to come training with his son to the team, and they play it just there, so I said yeah, I'll come along, and then since then really.
You two just used to bug me all the while to go out. As soon as I got in from work, it was like, come on, we're going to go for a kickabout. Because we lived in a small village with it was just fields around us, wasn't it? There was no football pitch. So we used to have to jump in the van, and I took both the boys to get them new boots, and Dale really wanted these Adidas, they're Adidas Preds, weren't they, Dale? Dale puts his boots on, and we find that he's got one size 6 and one size 9, haven't you? So I said, don't worry, Dale, you'll be all right. He'll be fine. Put 3 pairs of socks on, you'll be sound. It was the FA Cup on a Friday night. We went to Cambridge City, it was. And I remember both the boys went, and they were both on the bench. Dale was only 16 at the time, and he'd come on, and he absolutely set the game alight. Come on, done his tricks, done a turn, and yeah, he was just a game changer. I remember, and everyone was like, who's this boy? And rest is history.
For me, obviously as I started taking football more serious and wanting it to be my career, I thought at the time MK was the perfect place for me to be.
I remember the first time I saw Dele play. This is a boy that's learnt a lot of the game on the streets, playing with older kids in tight spaces, uneven surfaces, which are great for their development. He definitely benefited from that. Sometimes you get into formalised teaching too early, whether it's coaching or in any sphere of life. It can become too structured and stifling, and it can stifle creativity and a child's imagination. So when I first saw him play, he had so many ideas about what he could do, whether it's scooping the ball over somebody's head, dribbling in between 2 players when I didn't even think there was a gap there, his nutmegs, chipping a goalkeeper. And what you've got to do as a coach is go with it, because if you do, we can see now the talent that he's got. However, at say 13, 14, and he was actually a late developer physically, and he started to get knocked off the ball.
I got to a point in my career when I was about 15, 16, when I hadn't grown nowhere near as much as the other boys and stuff, and you thought physically I couldn't handle the game in like the number 10 or in the striker role as much as I maybe needed to. I remember when Harry and George got called up to the under-18s, and it was like 3 best friends, and I didn't get called up, and I think it was when I was under 16s and the 17s, and I was really upset because I didn't get chosen.
We kept challenging him, because I think sometimes you can protect young players. You can be afraid that it's not going to go well, but actually whenever the bar was raised, he'd be asking questions of me to raise it even more.
I think I was always in competition with myself, not really focusing on what anyone else was doing, just focusing on being the best player I could be and trying to enjoy it as well.
All being well, Dale playing in his first World Cup, what a massive achievement. I'm going to be so proud, and yeah, I can't wait to get on the plane.
Him playing in a World Cup is for me it's the natural thing for him to do, because that is the stage you should be on.
The World Cup's another step, an opportunity for me to go and to make my mark and, you know, to play for the country.